2002, there's a look inside venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Just a short time ago, this crowd loud enough to shake the foundations of this nearly century-old building. They are ready for football indeed in Chicago as their guys get set to do battle with Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
You ready? The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Hey, Mike 51, Mike 51.
All day, every day.
A look at Kerryon Johnson, second-year man out of Auburn. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, Johnson. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11.
Football to Mike. Mike football. I got you. Hey, whoa.
From the gun, here's Stafford. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37.
Hey, 22.
On second down now, it's Johnson. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Double tight. 3 down.
Stafford. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 44-yard line.
A gain of 16 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of...
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Jesse James, his first touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Extra point good by Prater, and that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go.
The Bears take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now it's Trubisky. Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down. Trey Flowers in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. They'll run with a third-year man. This is Tariq Cohen. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. It got his man complete. And all the way down to the 39.
Here we go.
Trubisky hitting Robinson for a big one. 47 yards.
First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for first and 10. First down, a run with Cohen. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give him the yardage that they need.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Credit the sack to Fred Warner. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback, because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
Another try after the first down sack. Trubisky, and nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Trubisky. Open man, Taylor Gabriel. He'll get 17 back there, but it'll still lead to a fourth down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. Stafford and the Lions now have it first and 10 at their own 28-yard line. He completes it to Jones. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down.
First down, Lions.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game, because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and kick.
Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. The sack there by Roquan Smith.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit, right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Lions with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a very tough 3rd and 15 forthcoming. Third and long, it's Stafford. A bullet throw, but incomplete. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the first down, even throwing the football. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
And from that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? #1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. #2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round.
And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Trubisky will throw. That is caught by Cohen. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Hey, man, watch the boot, watch the boot.
This is Cohen on the toss. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Mike 54. Mike 54. Alert, alert, alert.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Trubisky. Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down. Deshaun Hand able to record his 5th sack of the season.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. After that sack we just saw, Trubisky and the Bears deal with a 3rd and long. Now Trubisky. He'll find Miller. That's complete. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or 2 short, and it's 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. They missed a field goal earlier, so possibly as a result, that's why they're going to try to go for it here on 4th down. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Got a man, it's Patterson, complete. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first.
57's the mic. Watch 57. Man out, man out, man out, man out.
Play action. It's Trubisky. Robinson's got it. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Allen Robinson, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Point after, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least 1 home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak can have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum down.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. First down Lions on a pickup of 13. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Johnson on the counter. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And that will be incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield. Now Trubisky lost the football, and this is scooped up by the Lions. And into the end zone, a scoop and score on the fumble return for the Detroit touchdown. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on third down. From the shotgun is Trubisky. And he completes it to Cohen. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Trubisky now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Here's Trubisky to throw. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
They're going to need some therapy after this.
They don't want to repeat a first down. They'll keep it on the ground. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Out of the gun, Trubisky. Now Trubisky lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now it's Trubisky. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Coleman. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more.
We got to seal this game.
Suddenly, it's first and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. They'll run with Bawden. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Nick Bawden, as time expires in the first half. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Prater for the extra point. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, here's Prater now set to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is
I'm
doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. He's going to air one out. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Chicago. Anthony Miller, 79 yards. As they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
From the 30 on second down, Stafford. And his throw intercepted by the all-pro corner, Kyle Fuller. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
Interception, baby.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Check. Alert.
On first down, it's Cohen, and he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at him and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Tight dog. Check 52. Blue draw Corkers.
They'll run on second down with Cohen. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Hey, alert. Check. Fresno. 6-6. Bullet high. Take 4.
Now Trubisky to throw. And he's got it. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Mitchell Trubisky. And the Bears have retaken the lead. It seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point, because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They had that lead that is now gone. It is completely gone. How does that affect the psyche? Or am I reading into that too much? They should be okay still?
No, you're not reading into it too much at all. You've got to wonder what the psyche is of a team, because once you build up a lead and things are rolling pretty well, you don't expect it to change. And for it to change this dramatically, and now they're the team doing the chasing, yeah, you want to check out where they are mentally and whether or not they have it in them to come back. We'll soon find out.
Yeah, they're on their heels a bit right now. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
I got motion.
Back to throw. Stafford. Dancing to his left. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
It's our time.
Out of the gun, Stafford. He's got his man. It's Kendrick Bourne. And finally out of bounds all the way down at about the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They'll run it with Johnson, and he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Kerryon Johnson, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Lions are once again going to retake the lead. And the kick makes it through, but flags come flying in as well. It appears we're going to get a roughing call tacked on. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. An incredibly short kick fielded way up there. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Let's go.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. They want to be methodical, or they want to take the big strike and go after it right now.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Right 80. Okay, double up. Red, top.
57's the mic. 57's the mic. All right, D, let's turn. All right, D.
From the gun, it's Trubisky. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
5-4, Mike, 5-4.
Throwing here, Trubisky.
Hey, you don't want to see me.
Escaping the pressure right. He may try and run for this. Now Trubisky lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. He had gained really good yardage, but that's what you tell your quarterbacks, right? Get down after you've got the run.
You don't have to prove your toughness. You know, I think that's what a lot of coaches are trying to preach to their guys. Get the yardage, get down, protect the football, and protect yourself from extra hits as well.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
51 to Mike. 51 to Mike. Hey, let's get that ball, team. Double right. Check 3, check 3.
2nd and 5 now. Stafford, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Stafford. And this is caught inside the 5. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Marvin Jones, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Now Prater to add the PAT. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
You know, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Back now at Soldier Field. It's Bears football, but they trail on the scoreboard as we get set to bring you the 4th quarter. Now left side on the swing pass. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. Trubisky now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Trying to get it to Tariq Cohen out of the backfield. That'll bring up 2nd down. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Trubisky. He completes this into the hands of Miller. And now Miller hit, and he fumbles. And the Lions have recovered.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a 2-possession game. It is a 2-possession game at this stage in the 4th. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead. They'll run it with Johnson. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
On the ground, this is Johnson. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
51 to Mike, boy, 51. Let's make it.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Stafford. He's going to go for it all. And incomplete, almost intercepted. Had a great shot at picking that off in the end zone. And now 4th down.
Finally a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
And this will be covered up. Pretty good result. It'll be down at the 14-yard line. Well, they got the ball already. They're not going to risk the yardage and running another 4th down. They decline it.
And what was that they taught you in law school, that possession is 9/10 of the law?
I didn't go to law school.
Oh, you didn't? I thought you did. Well, I'm going to give that to you anyway. Possession is 9/10 of the law, and it's 9/10 of this game, too. Having the football counts.
He's got a man complete. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Chicago. Taylor Gabriel, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Pinheiro now to add the extra point. And the lead is down to a field goal now.
Makes the score Lions 31, Bears 28. Pat O'Donnell to kick off for Chicago.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Pat O'Donnell set to kick off.
So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's going to take this all the way down inside the 40.
But whatever the relationship was between the special teams and the offense, it's gotten a heck of a lot closer after a return like that. The special teams just keep setting them up. The offense thinks they'll go out there and knock them down.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. And that is intercepted by the all-pro safety, Eddie Jackson. The 40, 30, 20, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Chicago. This game, it's been defensively oriented on both sides, so I guess it stands to reason that the play of the game comes on defense.
So it's my kind of game. You know that.
That's
Anytime we have a
right.
defensive battle, but that, as you said, it stands to reason that's the way the game tilted. Someone had to make a big play, and the way the defenses were dominating, that's exactly what we got.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
Here we go.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. To throw again on second down. Stafford caught by Jones. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them inbounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything inside and I'll make the tackle. An out route? That's not the way you're supposed to play it.
That'll be a pickup of 4 as they work with his 4-point fourth-quarter lead. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. If you're thinking of a comeback here, you go to 2016. That's when Stafford had an NFL record 8 fourth-quarter comebacks. But last year, despite playing all 16 games, he had 0. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Now Stafford. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
You don't want none of that. Give me it. Pick up. Hey. 32. 5. Hurry up, get set. Look at him.
He'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Khalil Mack in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
Middle.
Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Back to throw. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And with the defense out of timeouts, powerless to stop the clock, this should just be a couple of kneel downs.